So inspiration can come from a lot of different places. Before we were here at our current homestead, we actually had what would be considered a pretty typical life in a subdivision in the city. We had a dog, a cat, we had a house that was within 2 feet of another house on each side, a backyard that was surrounded by 4 other backyards, absolutely no land to speak of. So, how did we end up here? It was a trip to PEI. We went to a petting zoo of sorts. It seemed to specialize in goats and sheep. Now, I had been to zoos before. I'm from Nova Scotia, so I've been to the Oakland Farm Zoo. And that's a wonderful zoo. And they even allow you to touch the animals. But what was different about this zoo is that all the animals were everywhere around with you, like walking with you. No. Nothing. You trying to get on the table? Trying to get to the eggs. At that time, we didn't know that we were going to be doing all this stuff with a video following our progress throughout the whole thing. So we didn't take a video that was, that truly showed everything there was to see there. We just have clips. So those are going to be scattered in here and there. But, and the quality isn't the best, but I thought it was important to show you just where it all started, because this particular farm, it was just the way it was with the goats everywhere. I didn't even see him.
Oh, look, he's running.
There was a spot where the benches where you could sit on, there were goats there. There were goats sleeping there. They were all amongst us. And at this time, we had no farm animals at all. And this is when we made the very first push into getting animals at all. This started the very first step we took. And even though we still remained in our same house, we actually ended up getting animals. Even though we kept our house within the city limits, we ended up getting animals. We actually just stored them on another farm, but that'll be a topic for the next video. This video is going to focus specifically on that one farm trip that really changed everything.
Oh my god, that's enormous. Look at them!
Why'd you have to feed her into me, huh?
Now's your shot. No.
And the animals that we saw there. So there were goats, there were sheep, there were pigs, there were large rabbits. I don't think we got a video of those. There was an alpaca. There were all kinds of things, and it was the way that as you went through the place, the animals were just all around with you. They enjoyed your touch, your company. They weren't segregated off behind walls and fences like you see at a lot of zoos. So this is kind of what inspired us to create a petting zoo. Now we're not there yet, we don't have enough animals, but that is how I envision the place that we're going to have, is that the animals, once you enter, the animals are just going to be around. Every one of them are going to be friendly. So they'll all be for petting, there'll be some for riding, there'll be horses and such, but they're all going to be together with the people. They're not going to be in cages. They're not going to be just something that you look at through a wall. They're going to be something that's there to enjoy. They're going to like your touch as much as you're going to like touching them. They're going to really be raised with people, which, as you can see if you followed our videos, is how we've been doing it with every animal, including the cats that we have, but as well as the farm animals. Our newest llama came from a zoo where he wasn't touched, and you can tell that because he's very skittish, but he's coming around because all the animals we have here, we want to have that vibe, that very friendly, you can approach and you can go right up. That's how we see this. So, like I said, inspiration comes from a lot of places, and some inspiration can really change your life, and that really did change ours, because just overnight we went from a very typical city family to owning animals. We started with goats.
But her and Dom are buds. You're not.
He just wants some height.
Yeah,
Oh my
makes sense.
god.
Oh, they're really cute.
Go get her! Go get her, Thelma! And Thelma is an older goat, so we don't usually get to see her play like this as often.
Aww.
And that's not a very typical thing for people in the city to own. And from that, when we got those goats, and after having them for a period of time, we knew at that point that we were going to have to make a move. And that led to the move to find country land. And led to the whole crazy move that we had. And we did cover that in previous videos, the move that we had from the city. But it was all worth it. And it all started by seeing somebody else's vision come true, and have that type of environment that I can't imagine living without. I can't picture a life without animals. Now, everybody has animals that they like and don't like, and I'm no different. But whatever the case is, I do feel like animals need to be part of my life. They have been. I'm into very unusual animals. I've had piranha, I've had ferrets, I've had a lot of unusual animals, and it's going to keep going. The land that we're on now just allows us to continue going with it. So I hope you enjoyed the little clips of the zoo. There is another zoo, or farm I should say, here in Nova Scotia. I'm not going to name names because I don't want to call out places in videos without their permission. But if you live in Nova Scotia, you know that there is a meat farm within Nova Scotia that has grown from a small little family business into it's a huge operation. And if you go there, you're allowed to walk the perimeter. There's no people there, there's no admission. You can just go and observe their animals. And we did. We went, we saw their emus, which were really affectionate toward. You can go right there, right in and see them. It's exactly the same type of environment that we want here. It's everything's open. Now, they're a little bit more of a food processing than we want to get into, but still, it's still a similar concept. So that's what motivates us. That's what inspired us. So I hope that someday we can get to the point where we're even close to as popular as they are. Anyway, thanks for joining, and that's it for this video. This is going to be part one of at least two. The next video, we are going to talk about when we got our first animals and the farm that they lived on, and we were at daily taking care of them. So kind of our very first step farm, our baby step into this life. And that was very exciting. And that is when we realized this is for us, and this is the direction we're going to go in. Thanks a lot.